Tyler Coleman. I'm a Vice President with Sterling State Bank out of Rochester, Minnesota. I'm going to talk today about sole proprietors and their application for forgiveness of their PPP loan. So if you're watching this video, you've probably already applied for the loan, you probably have the loan, and you're using those funds. I'm going to ask you to go back to your application for your loan, because one of the most important numbers on your application for forgiveness is your average monthly payroll. Now, if you remember, that came off your Schedule C in a calculation that we did, but from that you have your average monthly payroll. On your application for forgiveness, that's going to be one of the most important numbers that you have. So this is the application for forgiveness page here. The first half of the page is just filling out facts about your loan that you're going to be asking for forgiveness from. But then when we get into the calculation, the main number that you're looking at is your payroll costs. Well, your payroll costs as a sole proprietor are limited to 8 weeks of payroll. And where do you get that payroll from? It comes from the same place that you used on your application, that's Schedule C. But so for our purposes, to really simplify it, just take your average monthly payroll from your application for the PPP loan and multiply that by 2, because we have 8 weeks, so that's 2 months. You can multiply that by 2 and you fill it in on line 1 of the application for forgiveness. Once you have that, you've now figured out 75% of this whole form in terms of what you can have forgiven. So that represents your payroll costs. It cannot be higher than that. And it is capped at $15,252, I believe is the number, but it's just over 15,000. And then you use that number, that's going to be 75% of your forgiveness. Okay, it can't be anything less. It can be more, but it's going to be at least 75% of your forgiveness. Then after that, you just fill in the next 3 lines. And that's going to be your business mortgage interest payments, your business rent or lease payments, and your business utility payments. Now, what can be included in that, I believe we're going to get some clarity on. But for utilities in particular, it does mention, it says electricity, gas, water, transportation, telephone, and internet access. All of these have to have been in place before February 15th. You couldn't have all of a sudden just increased your utilities by a whole bunch. But it's a fairly simple number. You just have to prove that what you've spent on those things in the 8 weeks since you received your loan, and you will put that number in here. Then, basically, you're limited on your mortgage interest, your business rent, and your utilities to being at a maximum of 25% of your loan forgiveness request. But that's a pretty simple calculation. Because you're a sole proprietor, you don't have to get into the other, I think it's 12 pages of this and forms and calculations. You're really going to have an easy time with this. So once you've figured that out, it's really a 1-page application at the end of the 8 weeks following when you received your loan. You submit that to your bank with proof of the expenses that you've paid. So mainly that's going to be for your mortgage interest, your lease payments, and your utilities. And then the bank will apply for forgiveness on your behalf, and it'll be a pretty simple process. So congratulations on receiving the loan. Congratulations on a lot of this being forgiven. We're happy to help you. A lot of community banks are very happy to help these small businesses that are encountering a difficult time right now.